Okay, so I've got, and I think I turn this down just a touch so I don't squish my oil. I've got some oil already going, heating up. You'll see why. I've got one mackerel that I went ahead and cut into pieces. I've got half a cup of black rice. It's part of the ancient grain family. It's a very, very dark colored rice, high in fiber, actually really good for you. Run with it. Okay, small saucepan, rice. This kind of rice you actually don't want to rinse off. I just need to put some water in this. I'll be right back. Okay, so I tend to do a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 ratio of rice to water. I'm going to get that going on a low flame. Now, for rice, you want it to cook in 2 stages. So the first stage, you want to get it up to boil, then you turn your heat down and put on a lid, and you want that to simmer for about 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. Try not to take the lid off, because then you let out a bunch of steam, a lot of water, and yeah. Okay, so I'm going to turn everybody slightly so they can kind of see what's going on. Ta-da. Oh, sorry. I'll move the coffee pot. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure my handles are not in the way of what I'm going to be doing right here. Okay, good. My oil seems to be nice and super hot right now, so I'm going to work with it. And so doing the $20 grocery challenge, what that was is a friend of mine, they said, I don't have a lot of money, I got like 20 bucks for the week. You know, what can I do? I know you're a genius or a goddess or, you know, add in whatever nicety you want to do. With cooking, you know, what can I do? Because, you know, fast food, tons of, you know, not good for you. And, you know, she had some dietary limitations. And so I was like, okay, you know, made a plan, went, got $20 worth of groceries to see what I could do. And these are the dishes I'm coming up with so far. Okay. So, getting that up. I want to say that's high enough. Okay, so this is just regular rice paper wrappers. Nice thin. I kind of broke them into shards. And if you drop them into oil, they crisp up. It's awesome. Okay, I'm going to take this out of the way. Oh no, sorry, that stays in the way. I gotta grab another. Not too bad. The water or the oil could probably be a little bit hotter. I don't want to make it too hot too fast or else you end up scorching your oil and then you just get that burnt taste and it's gross. So, yeah. So basically you can sit here and make your own crisps, chips, whatever you want to call them, depending on where you're from. Yeah. If the oil's not hot enough, they kind of retain that glass-like look, as you can see on that edge. You can still see through it. Yeah. So you want to make sure that your oil is hot enough. That's also the reason I'm not like throwing them in all at once. If you have a big enough pan, you can actually just slide a whole sheet in at once. But I sort of wanted some chips and some interestingness going on, so. I'm going to fry these up real quick. And my rice is just coming to a boil, which is good. I say put down a paper towel if you haven't. I cannot find my paper towels. Or tea towel or something to soak some of the oil off of that. And while you're at it, you can put salt on it if you want. But I know what I'm pairing it with, and I don't want to put extra salt on. So I'm just going to sprinkle those down with a little bit of togarashi, which is pepper and sesame and chili. Fun little mix. Okay, so I got my oil near the smoke point. And since I have not put any flame on that, I'm going to put that right there. So that I'm not dripping all over the stove, because if you drip oil all across your stove, you're setting yourself up for a minor incident later on. I like to avoid those. So, yeah. But yeah, makes fun little crunchy, crispy bits. If anybody has any questions, by all means, feel free to ask your questions. I will answer them because I can see my screens. So yeah, if you have gluten issues or issues with corn, but you want like some sort of like a crunchy snack, but you can't have chips because sometimes chips has you know, stuff put into it that just don't work with your system very well. Rice paper fried up real quick is a beautiful thing. Do, do, do. Okay, so I've got a low boil now going on with my rice. I'm going to let it get a little bit hotter. And then I want to turn front burner. So down to a low simmer. Let me see if I can find my lids real quick. Give me a second. Sorry. Yeah. Those are not the lids I'm looking for. Huh. Every now and again, I misplace my lids. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on this. Can't seem to find my small lid. There's one more place I can look. Okay. There it is. Should have remembered. Put it in with my clean stuff. Oh no, that's not it either. Where did I put it? Okay, so working on just letting my oil get back up to temperature. But working on all of that goodness. Ah, there it is. I hid it in the deepest, darkest place where I was probably not going to find it otherwise. There we go. Small lid goes on. Hello. How you doing, dear? We're frying up some rice paper skins to make a crispy topping, but you can also make like chips and stuff with it, so it makes a dang decent snack. What can I say? Dude. Crisp, darn you, crisp. Every now and again it shrinks up so fast that certain areas don't get hit. So if you want to, you can deep fry these. I just prefer shallow fry because it doesn't use as much oil, and throwing a little seasoning on while I got it going. If anybody has any questions, anything they'd like to ask or talk about, by all means, go ahead and ask. I've got you guys on here so I can see what's going on. I know, I'm a mad scientist. What's your point? Okay, and that was the end of our rice papers. We're going to turn that all the way off. Okay, so we now have our rice paper crisps up and crispy. I'm going to turn on my timer and give myself 15 minutes on there. Oops, here we go. And that's just for my rice. But now, yes, rice paper crisp, all kinds of goodness. Give me a minute. Okay. So, now that we have our rice paper crisp, I'm going to let that cool down and make sure that I have my seasoning on it, because that's going to become a snack later on as well. I don't want to, waste anything. Okay, so at the store, at H Mart, I was able to get already salted pike mackerel, aka Pacific celery. And it is an oily fish and does well on a grill. I don't have a grill per se, so I'm going to do it on open flame. So I'm taking the pieces that I've cut, just running them through the skewer real quick. I've got 3 pieces, so I'm going to go from smallest to largest. Actually, I'm going to go through the backbone. Oh, no, wait, that's right. Go through the belly. If I could find, there we go. So yeah, trying to go directly through the backbone itself doesn't tend to work. But going along it. Now this is a bony little fish, I will tell you this much. But those bones, once you've cooked it, the bones are very easy to slide out. They don't tend to create many problems. Just be aware when you're eating or buying this fish that, yeah, definitely a bony fish. Okay. So it's already been pre-salted. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute. When this gets a little bit closer, I'm going to actually cook it on my stovetop right here. So, yeah. Make sure you do clean up as soon as that grill is cool enough. If not, the grease solidifies and just goes kind of icky. But hey, how's everyone doing? But yeah, for those of you who don't know, sorry as I get everybody on the same page. For those of you who don't know, I have an autoimmune disease. I learned about that a couple of months ago. And so I actually changed the way I was eating because this particular autoimmune disease is so much fun. It's food sensitive. It turns out that I'm food sensitive to both gluten, which just makes me feel really and I retain a lot of water, and it makes it even harder for me to lose weight. I have polycystic ovarian disease on top of that. Ooh, so much fun! Yeah, genetic stuff that you get born with. And then also, I am extremely soy sensitive. And I'm finding out more and more how extremely soy sensitive I am. because a lot of processed foods use soy in some capacity, usually as an emulsifier or as part of a filler for your food. And if I eat it, oh man, I get sick. I feel like sick for almost a week. It's not fun. It means I have to be extremely careful when I eat chocolate because almost all chocolate uses soy lecithin. Yay! It also means I have to be really careful with gluten-free foods because some of them use soy as a replacer. And yeah, not so much fun. But yeah, hey, had to change my diet, had to change how I went about things, how I looked at things. And that was actually kind of a good thing overall because I ended up doing a lot more fresh cooking, exploring what my options were because I was not going to get locked into, you can only have this much. I'm like, okay, fine, I have to expand. So that's what I did. And, truthfully, I am not mad at all. I ended up making food that I really liked looking at, with lots of color, a lot less salt, a lot less preservatives, because I'm doing it from fresh. I learned how to do a lot of new things, which was a lot of fun. And then I realized sometimes what you need is somebody to give you that push forward and show you, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. You can. Trust me, you can. I'll do the research. I'll do the planning. All you have to do is show up, watch the video, laugh, make some commentary, interact, and then go, okay, she can do it, I can do it. It's good. Okay, so we're doing pretty good on that. I'm going to break my own rule. I'm going to check this real quick. Okay, good. I was never quite sure about the absorption rate because it doesn't absorb at the same rate or in the same way that white rice does. It's a little bit slower, a little bit different. So, yeah. So, I'll turn you a little bit there. Okay. So, oh, that's right. Little crumbs. Oh, just little crumbs. Okay. Dum, 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 dum. I know I've got a strainer in here. So there we are. I know I've got something in there that I can scoop my gorgeous little bits out with. It's like confetti, but even better. Okay, so I'm gonna put those on top. Okay, I used peanut oil. But of course, if you have peanut allergies, for the love of goodness, don't use peanut oil. Just use something that has a really nice high smoke point. The higher the smoke point, the better, because you want to be able to drop your food in, have it do its thing, but you don't want to scorch your oil. If you scorch your oil, everything starts to taste burn. It's gross, and yeah. So, okay, moving over. Okay. The reason I'm waiting for the rice to get done is because literally it takes just a few minutes to cook the mackerel, especially over open flame. You want to give it about 2 minutes or so per side. I like a nice little bit of char on it. I'll do some decorative things with it. But yeah, I want to make sure that it's on there correctly. This is the bento I'm going to be plating in today. I've even got out some nice specialty paper to go with it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, microgreens. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so I grow microgreens. You can hear water in the background. There's like a little fish tank that you can do hydroponics with that somebody gave to a friend as a gift, and hey, I've been just working it for everything it's worth. So I like to do radish microgreens, but you can find a lot of different other types of microgreens. Hello! And those, you can grow them almost anywhere, and they're great as an addition to what you're making. I can't do soybean because a lot of bean sprouts are soybean, and soy is a no-go with my life. Okay, so let me grab some microgreens real quick so I can clean them off. Here, and I'll even show you. Okay, see? Microgreens. In all their glory. So basically, it's a pumice rock put into a little bin that has holes at the bottom so that the water can soak the rock just ever so gently. You sprinkle some seeds on over it. The seeds sprout and use the rocks kind of as a both grip and drainage system. I'm trying to make sure I take all the rocks out of here because A, you don't want to eat rock, even if it's pumice. B, I want to put the rocks back in there so I can grow my next set of microgreens. Okay, so basically, everything here, so all you have is the root system down below, and twist. You're good. And I wouldn't suggest throwing it down your garbage disposal just in case you have like a little chip of rock or something still in there. So I'm just going to either toss it in the trash or toss it into your compost pile, which I suggest if you have the room and wherewithal to do it, get the compost pile. Okay, putting the rocks back where they belong. The fish inside has no idea what's going on. Poor thing. Okay, so we've got microgreens, we've got our rice crisps, we've got our fish ready to go. I'm doing this to try and get some of the water off so I can see what's going on in there. So far it looks like it's doing pretty good. Put a little fire under it. You can also, if you have a rice machine, just go with the rice machine. Basically you put in your water and your rice mixture, you hit cook and you walk away. Makes it very, very simple. If you're packing a lunch, by all means, you can also do it the night before. Sorry, still nursing that coffee from this morning. What can I say? So, is there, oh, you know what? I should ask this. Is there any foods you guys would like to see or know about? I can always schedule that in for next week. Or I do have some ingredients for this week. I've got chicken, I've got more mackerel, I have rice, red beans, king oyster mushroom, enoki mushroom, tortillas. Yeah, I'm planning on doing just like a whole series of things, so it's going to be fun. Got about another 3 minutes on the rice. 3 minutes. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that I can do and that I'd like to do. I've got some great stuff going on up here. I actually do plan on doing pho, which if you don't know pho, oh my goodness, you poor thing. Oh, we've got to get you updated and upgraded. So pho, which I plan on doing probably in a couple days, is this gorgeous broth, usually very clear, usually made from pork bone, with a bit of fish, I think sometimes in the stock and whatnot. Oh, it's just, oh, it's so gorgeous, it's delicious, it's just fabulous. But it's done with like usually glass noodles in it, a bit of meat, definitely some vegetation, basil, sprouts, lemon, jalapeno, all different kinds of things. They also do meatballs in it. I plan on doing my pho with beef tendon meatballs that I got that weren't very expensive. I got them last week. And probably add some king oyster in there. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a chicken in it, or if I want to do beef. I'm sorry, not beef, chicken, fish, or if I want to do a bit of pork. So we'll see how that goes. Should be interesting. But yeah, I really, really want to do a pho. I plan on doing at least one or two desserts, or sweet things. I think I have tacos, of course, slated, because tacos are just fabulous. And I had several other dishes already kind of going on up here. But let's see how far I can get this week on just that $20. Um, $20 is the reality of what a lot of people are living on. We are one of the richest nations, and yet most of that wealth is located at the top, and the people at the bottom are really struggling. I'm one of them. But if I can help ease some of the stress that people are feeling when they have so little and they're not sure what to do with it, I'm going to do my best to do exactly that. And if I can help somebody out, awesome. Seriously, awesome. That's how I roll. That's just how I roll. Sorry, didn't mean to get like heavy or anything. So. Oh yeah. That is gorgeous. Okay. So, black rice. I know. So black rice, unlike sticky rice, it doesn't stick together. It has quite a bit a heavier, chewier, crunchier. I hear you. Here we go. Okay. Oops, no, take that off the heat. Okay, so. And if you want to, you can always add a bit of apple cider vinegar or sushi vinegar to this. Actually gives it a really nice little bite. Let me see how I like the taste of it on its own. It's not actually black, it's dark purple, as you can see. You know what? I'm going to follow my own advice. So, I always keep vinegar, mirin, and a couple other things around. Sushi vinegar. Got it from like H Mart for just literally a couple of bucks. And you want to add just a little bit here and there. So overall about a teaspoon or so. Okay. Sushi vinegar is a little bit sweet. Still has some nice acidity to it. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. Okay. Oh, it smells good. Okay. So, gonna flatten everything out. Sorry, I should have told you loud noise. Gotta quit putting those things out of reach. Press it into the corners because I'm just looking for a nice thin layer. Okay. Put that there. Now for the fun part. Woo! Alright. So, high flame. There's a reason I put you guys all the way back here, because this is definitely a high flame. So your skewer, there you go. You don't want to put it right up on the grill. You want to give it some time to actually, cook through. So, roughly 6 to 8 inches, maybe even a little bit more above. And kind of over the center and let it do its thing. You can also just do it in a pan. I just like a little bit of a char. Do, do, do. closer every now and again. Don't worry, that's just the bone. Bones are very susceptible to flame because they're so thin and so fine. Also the bamboo skewer. Let me see if I can back up that skewer just a touch so I don't... So yeah, the bamboo skewer, if it does scorch a little bit, that's actually perfectly fine because it gives the fish a little bit more flavor. I'm rotating it every now and again. And you're going to hear it spit more and more because this is a very oily fish, much like regular mackerel is. So it contains a lot of oils, a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. Smells so good. And you're looking for kind of a golden-ish color, or slightly brown color on either side. Making sure to get the end cap as well. And you don't want to place the fillets or the pieces so close together that you don't get scorch on them. Along the backbone, I mean. Okay, so as you can see, we got some good scorch going on here. I'm going to go ahead and take off the top layer. So one of the easiest ways to do that is just gently rotate your skewer. Ha! I should have thought of, fork or something. Okay. Come on, let go. Okay. Okay. And back up the skewer just a little bit. Add two of the pieces overlapping just a touch. So they weren't getting, the middle one wasn't getting quite the cook that it should have. I'm going to remedy that. Just a little bit more time. Now, if things catch on fire, don't panic. Panic is actually one of the worst things you can do. Panic means your brain starts to shut down and doesn't think of the correct thing to do, which is usually, if it's tiny, blow it out. If it's a little bit bigger, put a lid on it. If it's really big, wet cloth, or damp cloth I should say, throw it over it. Turn off all heat sources. Be careful about using a fire extinguisher inside. But do what you gotta do, just don't panic. Okay. Tail is actually one of my favorite pieces. Gorgeous, thick bit of meat. Got a good amount of oil to it. Tell me that doesn't look delicious. I'm going, Facebook, you can look. I'll look. Oh, see, yeah, that's gorgeous. Hi, you're up close. I'm going to turn you around. So there we go. There's the beginnings. And then I'm going to... Okay. We're all basically on the same page. So, I've got my fish. going to add my greens. I'm trying to kind of decide what I want to do. Actually, truthfully, with my greens, I wanted them underneath. Have my fish on top. Just makes it look a little bit more appetizing and appealing. I'm going to stand this piece of fish up if it kills me. Haha, I win. And then let's see if I can get it in there. And I'm using my fingers, which of course makes things a little bit fiddly. Okay, so I have something nice and fun, and then I just want to find the right shard or piece to kind of go with this. Yes, I know it's pretentious. What's your point? Tasty. It's a visual issue. I want it to look like seashore. Ah, you know what? These work. Because it has that almost seafoam appearance. Okay, so we're good to go. Another one. I will be posting this a little bit later on tonight. Mackerel over black rice with radish microgreens and rice paper crisp. So simple, easy, ever so gorgeous. Thank you all for tuning in. For everybody who's watching, hello, thank you. I know it took a little bit longer than normal, but of course I was doing rice the slow way. And no pre-handed prep work. So yeah, I will see you guys around. Find me on Instagram, Raving About Bento. Find me on YouTube, Raving About Bento. On Twitch, I am Dame Red Bento, because I do some other things on there. And yes, thank you so much. Make sure to like, love, share, subscribe, word of mouth, get me out there, soy-free, gluten-free. I'm just your wonderful, personable kitchen demon.